Forget everything you think you know about digital marketing or e-commerce when you're looking to implement effective luxury e-commerce marketing strategy. There are 3 reasons why. Number 1, the persona is totally different. Number 2, the reason why they use the e-commerce website in luxury is different to your normal e-commerce store. And number 3, the channel and the tactic is a little bit different and needs to be adapted to their personas. Let me start with the persona of luxury e-commerce customers. First, you need to even look at e-commerce brands like Louis Vuitton, brands like Gucci, brands like Rolex. You need to look at also another type of e-commerce brand like your Harrods, your Selfridges, and then you need to look at Farfetch. Ask yourself the question, what are the difference between all this website that I've called all luxury? Number 1, Gucci, Rolex, Louis Vuitton, those 3 are examples of actual brands that make and produce those products that they sell. And brands like Harrods, Selfridges are high-end luxury retailers. Some of them resell products of other brands. And then you have Farfetch, which is a luxury e-commerce without a physical location. The rest of the brands I mentioned all have physical location. So when you're looking to implementing your luxury e-commerce marketing strategy, you need to pay attention to that persona of your customer across the different types of websites I mentioned. Let's start with what exactly is a luxury customer. A luxury customer is an individual that is very, very poor with time. Understand what I mean? They're very poor with time. They're very busy individuals. They don't have time for anything. What I mean they don't have time for anything is they don't have time to be wasted. Time is money for them. The opposite is they're very, very rich and they are looking to pamper themselves. So your website or your e-commerce strategy needs to be tailored to those high net worth individuals. And what do they like? A luxury customer likes exclusivity. They want something that is exclusive to them. Why am I talking about this persona? You first need to understand the persona before you create your luxury e-commerce strategy. If you go and just implement the known and tested best practices in e-commerce, that will become a problem for you down the line. Understanding the persona that I'm talking about is important. So listen, another feature or characteristic of luxury customers or luxury audience that comes to luxury websites is they really looking for premium quality. What this means is they do not like anything that is mass market produced. They want that limited edition. I mentioned exclusivity. Exclusive limited edition items only come because the way those things are produced is bespoke. I'll give you an example. If you're looking to get a suit, you can go to any retailer, you can get a suit, a blazer that is standard sizing across the board. But when you start looking at luxury, it has to be bespoke. It has to be made to measure. The quality of the material, everything needs to be specifically personalized for that person. It has to be every inch perfect for that individual. And how does this happen? Because they expect personalized services. One thing about luxury customers is also they're also attracted to the brand story. Your website needs to communicate, even your marketing needs to communicate your brand story effectively. It needs to communicate the history. And in communicating that history, you also need to communicate the way you produce your luxury product. It needs to show them that, okay, this is handmade, customized. You look at very high-end, expensive watches, Richard Mille and all those watches, they are individually crafted. Even if you look at expensive cars, I don't own any of those, but I'm just saying, if you look at the expensive cars, they are limited edition. They're like, really, it takes time for you to order them, for them to get to you. And you have every customization possible. They're different from regular things. Luxury customers also value delegation. What I mean by this is because they're so busy, they expect you to offer them services through your website or any other way that would allow them have their own personal concierge, a personal shopper. They want that comfort, that convenience. And another thing you need to understand is because of luxury customers, most or some of them are international. So even if your luxury website is based in, say, the UK, for example, and you have a physical store, you also need to understand that you'll be getting customers coming to your website that are in different time zones, different languages. So you need to make sure that your website is optimized for language, for currencies, for different delivery option. And how do luxury websites implement this strategy based on their customer persona? They have primary goals for the website and secondary goals. What are the primary goals of your website? What is the secondary goals of your website? Those are the questions that needs to be tailored to your website and the type of luxury customers you target. There is no one size fits all. One thing you need to understand as well is luxury websites pick from the best. What I mean by this is if you look at a common website like Amazon has so much success because Amazon requires most of their customers to be logged in. You're logged in, the way you buy is seamless because they have your card detail. So for you to have an effective luxury marketing strategy, you need to create a strategy around encouraging your target customers to register. We're not talking about express guest checkout here. We're talking about being able to encourage them with whatever communication, whatever tactic you can to register on your website. That way, you can then convince them to have their credit card details stored. So the next time they come to your website, they are logged in. You have all their history, so you can then personalize their experiences. You understand what they've bought. You have details about important events in their lives and things like that. These individuals value privacy. Your website needs to communicate that your security and everything about your website, even your physical location, is secured to the maximum possible. Then let's talk about types of luxury customers again. First, you have people that are like high net worth individuals, the older demographic, and then you have the younger demographic, and you have their kids, and then you have collectors, people that just want to buy luxury products as an investment piece. You hear that a lot in the watch space. But what I'm trying to say here is the layout of your website. If you look at the logo of luxury websites, the logo is minimalistic. It's not loud, it's not noisy. And if you look at brands such as Rolex, they just have the icon, the Rolex icon. What I'm trying to say here is the website look and feel is premium. There's a lot of white spaces. There's less clutter because you're dealing with highly intelligent individuals when you're talking about luxury websites. So let me tell you a quick story. I worked with a few luxury brands over the years, and one consistent pattern that I've seen is the importance of images and video quality is not emphasized enough in all other e-commerce websites. But when it comes to luxury, you cannot settle for less when it comes to that. The reason why is because the luxury customers love and enjoy the physical shopping experience. Because if you look at brands like Selfridges, like Harrods, it's not just about the shopping experience. They have restaurants, they have different things where people can literally be there for hours. Shopping and luxury is like a lifestyle to them. So the website necessarily doesn't do it for some of them. So the goal of your website is to give them a glimpse of what to expect in the physical store location. And in situations where they just want to understand the quality and read if they're new customers and they've never shopped on your brand. But the image needs to be so high, so good that they would like see the quality and the uniqueness and the exclusivity radiating through your website. If you want to understand the impact of photography, just go to Rolex website and just look at Rolex and look at any other website that is e-commerce. You will see the difference in the quality of the image. You see the difference in the colors. You see the difference in the videos there. This is so because luxury brands invest heavily, while you have other brands not invest in photography and videography. Luxury brands, most instances, have their own dedicated video and photo production. It's a full-time job. It's not like, oh, we need to shoot this, bring people in. No, it's full-time, it's established, and these people are there round the clock. And the good thing about the luxury website is because it's evolving. Luxury websites are not static. If you go to another general website that is not the luxury website, you go there month after month, it's the same layout, it's the same look and feel, it gets boring. And even you don't feel excited to go to the website. But luxury websites have that uniqueness. I've worked with luxury brands in the past, and I've seen that the way the website is, it's like a living, breathing creature. It's like the website is almost human because it's always evolving, it's always adapting, it's never static. So another e-commerce strategy for luxury brand is you need to be on top of your images and be on top of everything you do. Let's talk about the navigation. If you take, for instance, the navigation of Rolex, for example, there is a heavy emphasis on nudging people to the physical location. Whereas other websites will be so hung up on converting on the website, on all that. Luxury e-commerce strategies focused around an integrated approach where we win as a team. The online and the offline work hand in hand. Even when you're getting like 90% of your sale in your physical location, you understand the goal of the website. As I mentioned earlier on, if you look at navigation on like Harrods and Selfridges and even Rolex, you see that there is a nudge towards getting people to come into the store. There is a nudge towards booking an appointment. There is also a subtle nudge where you crave that experience to go and pick up your item in the store. When you optimize your journeys to communicate before people get to the checkout that actually it's a good idea for you to pick up your item in the store, you're saving shipping costs, and you're also saving the cost of returns, because the people going into your luxury physical location, when you have a physical location, they're bound to buy more in the physical location because they're bound to see other things. While your website is trying to upsell and cross-sell them, when they're in your physical store location, that is a lot easier because they have personalized, tailored experiences. And there's less likelihood that they're going to return the item because they're going to try it on. It's going to fit. They're going to do everything they need. And when they leave with the purchase, there's very, very low chances of a return. A lot of e-commerce websites struggle with returns because it's added costs for them, because when people buy something and they don't feel it, they return it. I mentioned about seasonality. Luxury websites optimize their website for seasonality, and that also impacts on the layout of the website. They have like announcements and things like that. All these things contribute heavily into your luxury website design. I mentioned as well with the image and the product. When you get on the product page, the structure of the product page is designed in a way where people by default will just consume those content. And if they don't navigate towards your shopping cart and the checkout, you want to make sure that your strategy is structured in a way where you've created an impression about the offline experience that would encourage them to go into a physical location. It's very, very easy and very, very possible to have the bulk of your conversions offline in your physical location. Now let's talk about the acquisition channel and the communication tactics for luxury customers. I mentioned earlier on that the goal, if you have a brick and store location, like the big brands, you can easily nudge them towards your physical store and optimize your conversion towards people actually picking up stuff in the physical location. What I'm trying to say is the quality of the product communicates through word of mouth. You see people in their close circle would talk to each other, oh, I like your shoes, what brand is that? So even from an acquisition standpoint, the cost per acquisition is lower. What I mean by this is there's certain social selling, they call it dark social, it's word of mouth marketing, but that comes in to your acquisition channel because your quality of the product is really high. Obviously, channels like Google Ads is also a very, very important channel. With SEO, it's a little bit difficult because if you are reselling, if you're a website that is reselling another brand that also have their own online presence, you need to understand that there's a high chance for the branded term that you will not be able to outrank them. They would also always rank above you. Take, for example, Gucci. The brand name Gucci will always rank for that. But any other brand that is selling those products would then rank underneath it. But that's not necessarily for the long tail keywords. What I'm trying to say here is you need to balance your brand search with your non-branded search to kind of make sure that you have that right balance. This is where your SEO team, your search engine optimization team, and your Google ad team come together to work together and see that, okay, what can we bid on for Google ads and what can we bid on for other platforms? With other social media platforms, the communication style is a little bit different. As I mentioned earlier, luxury customers are grouped into buckets. When you have the ultra high net worth individuals, those individuals by default do not come to you through your regular Google search and things like that. This is where elements of offline marketing comes into play, charity events and all those kind of events. So you have a group of customers that are like maybe customers that spend north of £20,000, you group them into a bucket. Customers that spend north of £100,000. These customers are rare, but they're present in large luxury e-commerce organizations. So your communication style is going to be totally tailored to those individuals. You're not going to communicate with them the same way you communicate with every other customer around. So another strategy is to just look at understanding those personas that I mentioned earlier on and thinking outside the box. How can we communicate with these individuals to get them? Because you're not playing a numbers game when it comes to luxury e-commerce. You're playing more of a quality game. You want quality, not quantity. And remember, I mentioned that ripple effect of word of mouth marketing. And another strategy also is using that word of mouth, because take, for example, a luxury hairdressing salon in central London. You find a situation where that luxury brand has their customer base that is the more mature individuals. That more mature individual in some instances will bring the children to the salon. So it's left for that luxury brand, luxury salon to have services tailored at a different price point for the children of those luxury customers. So that is how you build on organic acquisition. Whereas because your goal is to get that high value customer in, and from the services that you render to them, you then win other within their inner circle. So that's why the personalization part comes into play. If you look at luxury customers, most of the time they go shopping with their friends and things like that. So those, you just need to make sure that you think outside of the box. You're not isolating your whole marketing strategy to just the normal Google ads, SEO, and all those kind of things. You need to make sure that you understand where do they congregate, all these luxury customers, the different buckets and the different personas, the international customers, the customers from Asia, the customer from the Middle East, the customers from Africa, the customers from North America. If you're a UK-based luxury brand, how do we create marketing tactics and marketing communication and marketing to communicate with all those individuals? Digital PR then comes into play. You don't rely heavily on just online alone. Online is very noisy. And I mentioned these individuals are highly busy. So what strategy do you use? Do you look at PR, look at magazine insert, look at important publications that they read, look at events that they attend? That is all integrated. And your website would then serve as that entry point where they just pop into. The goal is then to understand, what are we going to prioritize? Are we going to prioritize the primary goal, which is for them to convert on the website? Are we going to prioritize for them to shop on the website but pick it up in the store? Or are we going to personalize it in a way where we know that, okay, if we can get them into the store, we're going to have a higher average order value. And you can also, within the store, you can also get them to register. The important message that I'm trying to re-emphasize here is the personalization part is extremely, extremely important. And the look and feel of the website, as I mentioned, plain, easy. You just need to make sure that you're not just optimizing your e-commerce marketing strategy just for online conversions alone. You need to understand that there needs to be a strong integration with your online and your offline to get that seamless multi-channel conversion. So the goal here to increasing conversion on luxury e-commerce websites is that universal integrated conversion, not just website conversion, integrated conversion. My name is Femi Olajiga. I'm a marketing consultant, and if you're looking to optimizing and creating a marketing strategy to increase conversion, increase traffic to your offline store, reach out to me. I've worked with some of the largest luxury brands in e-commerce, B2B. I've worked with luxury brands in the past, and I'm really interested in working with future luxury brands. So if you're a luxury brand, or if you sell high ticket items, if you sell expensive items with e-commerce, even if you're not luxury, there is a different strategy than your regular e-commerce strategy. You can find my contact details in the show notes. And if you're watching this on YouTube podcast, you can check the description for my contact details as well. My name is Femi Olajiga. You can connect with me, and I'll be looking forward to helping you. In the next episode of the podcast, I'm going to be talking about digital marketing strategy. I've been talking about this for a while, but I'm going to create a digital marketing strategy template that you can take and implement. This template is applicable to luxury and different industry, but it's just a way of thinking that would help you optimize your marketing, making sure that you're getting a high average order value, you're getting conversion, you're reducing cart abandonment and reducing churn, even in lead generation website. Reach out to me, follow the podcast, and I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you and bye.
If you've got a real life question, challenge, or scenario that you would like covered, Femi can cover it in the future episodes of the podcast. Just drop him a message on LinkedIn. Femi is also available for one-to-one coaching and consultancy services as well. So head over to LinkedIn, connect with him, and send in your message.